Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Tujin, welcome to MBT Studios, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing the Kef R100s. Now these are speakers that I've had in my desktop setup for about a year now, and I'm quite intimate with these speakers. The R line is their mid-range line right above their Q series. Now in the previous video I talked about the Q150s, that's their entry-level line. Now the R series is posed for enthusiasts, but it's just above, below the reference series, which is basically their flagship besides their muons and the blades. The LS50s are also there as their flagship bookshelves, but they're really oddly placed because they're priced almost the same as the R series. Now, about the speaker itself, the R100s or the R series in general come in a black piano finish, a white finish, and a couple walnut veneers. Now there is a new R series coming out, so you're probably going to see these speakers being liquidated at great discounts. So I do want to have this review up there, especially if you're interested in this series itself. So the speaker is bi-ampable, which means that the tweeter and the mid-range can be amped separately, and it does feature the same Uni-Q driver that I talked about in the Q150s, in the Q series in general, but a different driver. And that I'll talk about in the sound. Now, it is also backed with a 10-year warranty that I forgot to mention in the Q series review, and that's something you need to be aware of as well. So the driver would obviously be replaced if there's any kind of malfunctions, if the tweeter's blown, so that's something cool as well. And the speaker itself, I kind of recommend it for a small to mid-sized room. Obviously, if you're going to do a bigger sized room, I'd recommend the R300s or their floor standing variants. And I do use a sub with these R100s. Because it is a mid-range woofer with a tweeter, it's not going to exactly get down low, especially if you enjoy the dynamics of a full-range sound all the way down to 20 Hz. Adding a subwoofer would be great, and in my scenario, I have the Kef R400s filling in that gap. And I have it powered with the Shit Audio Vidar. Now before I move on to sound, I just want to say that these speakers, I picked them up for about 1,200 Canadian, and I picked up the subwoofer roughly around the same price. Now if you look around, there's a lot of people selling them in the used market, but you can also buy them used because they are discontinued. Alright, so moving on to the sound. Now I want to compare these speakers to other speakers in the Kef series. So there's the LS50s that are priced quite similar to the R100s, and then there's the Q150s. Now you're probably wondering, why would I step up from the Q150s to the R100s? And why would I choose the R100s over the LS50s that are similarly priced? Now with my experience of the LS50s, 100%, they are very, very analytical and revealing speakers. Now, they will pick up any detail or nuance that is in that recording and you will hear it. Now that is great if you have a well-recorded song or album or just an artist that knows how to make good music. But once you hear, like, if you're hearing stuff from like Spotify and it's just pop music or, you know, mainstream music that you hear on the radio, you'll suddenly realize that they're not recorded as well, and the music experience, just, you know, the listening experience isn't as great as you thought it would be. Now with the R100s, and the reason why I used to have LS50s, I'll put that out there, and I switched to R100s, and this is why. The R100s are a lot more forgiving. They're more musical in a sense, where they're not like reference or analytical. You'll hear nuances and detail, especially when you compare them to the Q150s. They're a lot more dynamic. They sound musical, and they're a bit warm sounding, so they're not peaky and bright as some speakers may be. With that all being said, you can hear them with poorly recorded tracks, or not even poorly recorded tracks. It's 320 kilobyte per second Spotify, straight off from Spotify, and the music will still sound good. Now I do want to mention that with all three of those speakers, I used a sub, because a subwoofer will give you that full range, and what I use right now is the Kef R400B, which is tonally matched with the R100. So with that being said, I'm getting a nicely tonally matched pair combination with that sub and the R100s. Now let me put it this way. If I were to, let's say, compare it as food, the Q150s are like margarine. It's good stuff, it gets you by, but once you have the real good stuff, you know, that grass-fed butter, that's what these R100s are. it's not comparable. And putting aside, nutritional value and all that stuff on the side, you want to have the good stuff, right? That's what these R100s are. They're the good stuff. It's once you have a taste of it, you can't really let it go. And LS50s are what got me into good, high-end speakers. I had a taste of them with a good recorded track, and I was blown away. I had a shiver down my spine. But then as soon as I took them home and I hooked it up to the shit audio Vidar and I played tracks that I'd normally listen to, I was like, oh no, what happened? I made a mistake. And then I heard R100s. I took them home, tried them out, and they were a lot more forgiving. So that's why I have R100s right now. They're great, they're dynamic, there's a lot of soundstage, the detail is there, but they're very forgiving with poorly recorded tracks, and I have to stress that a lot. So if you're someone like me who likes to listen to Lindsey Sterling, Cat Stevens, Linkin Park, some rap music, just like a wide range of genres of music, and you want a bit more than those Kef Q150s, the R100s would be a welcome addition to your life, as I can say from my anecdotal experience. So to conclude my thoughts on the R100s, they're great speakers for people who want to listen to many genres of music without their listening experience to be, sullied by the distortion you may hear in the tracks or the poor recordings that they might actually be. Now, if you are planning on going into a bigger room, try the R300s, especially if you want something small and compact. Because once you tie those with a sub, or even without a sub, because they have a low frequency driver, you might be better off with that. Now, with my experience and everything I've said so far, the R100s do make me quite happy. If you can get them at a low price, or not low price, because they really do get justified at the price their MSRP, but if you can find a wicked deal on them, I would pick them up ASAP. Now, you do need to consider your room environment, your amp, and your DAC. And I forgot to mention, but my DAC that I use is a headphone amp DAC combo. It's the Fostex A4 balanced amplifier. And I split the pre-outs from that to my subwoofer and my speakers. And I have the subwoofer crossed over at around 80 Hertz or so. And that's where they blend seamlessly. So if you're trying to do the same setup I did, try that and tell me how it goes. Now, if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I'll try to get back to you ASAP. The next video, I'm either going to be reviewing the Kef LSX, the powered monitors, or the LS50s. And if you guys want to have a review on the Q950s that I have in my basement, shoot me a comment. Let me know. And with that all being said, if you like our content, subscribe. Peace.